Hello, wonderful people. I have a TBR that I need to make for June. So what we're going to do today is in fact make that TBR. As you can probably have guessed, this is the TBR jar. So this is what we are going to use to pick prompts out and then therefore choose a book related to the prompt. I guess we could just go ahead and start, why don't we? I want to get as much fantasy as I can for this because currently I'm in a fantasy mood. I'm gonna dig all the way down to the bottom and get one from the bottom because I feel like okay, I'm gonna ignore that one that fell out, mostly because I want different prompts than we have for the last however many, like 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. Okay, you guys look first. Start a new series. Okay, now this is kind of perfect because that gives me so many chances, so many options, because I have so many series that I can start. Does this help me conquer my series tracking list? No. It helps me start a fantasy series that I want to start. So let me get some options and then I'll decide. Okay, so I chose just 2 for now because I am hoping other prompts in the jar that we pick will help with the other books that I want to start. So let me give you what I have picked. We have Phantasma, which is basically an adult caraval is what I'm hearing. So, and I've heard that Enchantra, the second book in this series, which is out now, is like even better than this one. And I've heard a lot of great things about this one. So, I kind of really want to start this. Which could very well, like, let me see how many pages this is. Almost 500. So it's a pretty good fantasy. So that is an option. And then we have a thicker book. City of Gods and Monsters, which I just bought and I really want to start so bad. But the problem with this one is of course the size, which is 700 pages, which is about 200 more than Phantasma. But I want to know the series so bad. Like, I think Phantasma is just 2 books out right now. And then this one, I think there's 3 or 4 books out right now. Okay, I think I kind of do know. It's probably gonna have to be Phantasma. Only because I really want to know this world and share my thoughts on it, and I want to know what happens because everyone has been raving about this. I mean, everyone's been raving about City of Gods and Monsters too. But I feel like this is gonna take a month to finish. Via this one is going to take probably... Okay. If the angle changed, my battery died. We're back. We're back and we're ready. So, I was just in the middle of saying I'm picking Phantasma for this prompt because it's, first of all, way less pages than City of Gods and Monsters, and I've been seeing a lot of people rave about this series. So, I'm going to pick this one, and I believe, so I just got the back. I never do that with the books that I pick because I just kind of like going in blind. I'm sure you know this by now. But it's basically just an adult caraval, and we follow Ophelia into the games of Phantasma, which I guess is a manor, just like full-on mansion, I guess. And there's like 9 trials that she has to go through in order to get her sister out of Phantasma. And then of course a charming stranger comes along, and I think they work together. But apparently, and this is a great quote, because in Phantasma the only thing deadlier than losing the game is losing your heart, which, yes please, I love that. I love that so much. So I am going to go with this for start a new series, if I remember correctly. So Phantasma is on the TBR. Alright, and there's the start of our pile. Now I will put sadly back City of Gods and Monsters, but we'll see if another prompt comes along and I can throw this on. Oh, also, I just recently finished Powerless. So I think, did that go up? I think that's up somewhere. So you could go ahead and watch that reading vlog because it was an interesting ride. It was interesting. So I kind of want to move along in that series, but we'll see. We'll see. Now let's pick one from the bottom because I need good prompts. Hello. Okay. We'll go with this one. Longest book. Longest book. Oh my gosh. Should I see if I know which is the longest book? So obviously there's Kingdom of Ash. I've already read it, but I feel as though that may be the longest book on my shelf. So we'll go second longest. I need my phone. And we'll go on Goodreads and we shall see. Number of pages. Are we ready? Oh. Redeeming 6. So Redeeming 6 right here. That's the longest. However, I am not currently on this book in the series. So I'm going for what comes next. Okay, and then obviously Kingdom of Ash. And then Keeping 13. Keeping 13, which happens to be the book that I'm on in the series. Keeping 13 it is then. So close to City of Gods and Monsters. But I did need a romance on this TBR. Oh my gosh, she is floppy. Okay, so basically the premise of this book is the first book in a series is Binding 13. This book is kind of going along in that series. So basically, in this story, there is Shannon, who is our main character for the most part, and she is not having the best of times. Her home life is not good. Look up the trigger warnings. And then we have Johnny, which is our main male character / love interest, and he is kind of helping Shannon along that journey. So she's kind of being bullied and a bunch of stuff goes on in the first book. So now, I don't want to spoil the ending of the first book, but something big happens, and then I think this goes immediately into this book. From like the point that that book ends to this book. So I am interested, and I've heard that this book is way, or at least a little bit better than Binding 13. And if you saw my my rating, I didn't particularly enjoy, or I enjoyed it, but like I could have done without Binding 13. Like, sorry to say if you love Binding 13, but hopefully this book will be better. Okay, so moving on. Let's get another fantasy on the shelf. Please. Please, another fantasy. Okay. The bottom of the barrel. Set in the current season. This is like kind of irritating because I know this is going to be a romance pick, and I don't particularly want romance for this TBR, as stated. So I think I just, it's not really summer either. Like June is kind of like spring summer. So let me look up some and then I'll come back to you. Okay. I found one, but I don't know necessarily if it's set in spring. Goodreads says it's set in spring. So I'm gonna trust. If it's not, let me know, okay? And then I'll change it out for something else. So the book that I thought, actually the book that I was recommended that was set in spring was The Naturals. Now I know this is like, okay, this is first of all by my favorite author. So I know this is, I'm gonna love this book. And then we of course have the premise, which is all of these teenagers, I'm pretty sure it's YA. It's like, what I've heard is that it's kind of like Criminal Minds. Love that. Never watched it, sadly, but I have heard amazing things, obviously. This is basically about a bunch of kids, or teenagers, I guess. They kind of have gifts, I guess you could say. Like, profiling, like you could like use someone's body language and know what they're thinking kind of thing, or like if they're lying, like they're kind of like that. So they kind of help the police with like investigations and such. So that is very interesting, very interesting. And my friend has also, she read this in one day. So that's how you know. That's how you know this is good. So I am thrilled to have this on my TBR. I must say, we have a bunch of genres going on. We have fantasy, romance, and we have crime, thriller. It's looking good. It's looking good. It's looking very diverse, I guess you could say. So let's get into the next prompt. Hopefully good one. Okay. Less than 400 pages. Okay. See, this is not good for my fantasy wanting. actually I already kind of know, but like the actual probability of me reading this is kind of very slim, because I probably don't want to, and that's Sky Shade, because I got the same prompt last month and we picked Sky Shade. So maybe we should save this and pick something different. Okay, I think I know, because it moves along in a series, so that kind of helps. And I've already kind of mentioned I wanted to move along in this particular series, and that is Powerful by Lauren Roberts, which is a novella in the Powerless trilogy. I started last month, so hopefully I can move along this month, starting with this novella. And I'm pretty sure this follows Peyton's best friend in the first book, so that will definitely be interesting. This book picks up after Peyton goes to the trials and is in the trials, and then she kind of figures out how to live life without her, I guess. And it sounds like there may be a love interest, so that could be fun, could be interesting. And I think this one is like extremely short. Okay, well, it seems to be no page numbers, but I mean, I think we can guess it's less than 400. So I will be going with this one, and we'll see what I feel after. If you know, you know. That seems like a pretty good stack. I think I will go with 7 books this month, only because I want a little bit more variety in what I want to pick. Because last month I obviously picked Sky Shade, and I also picked Beach Read for one of the prompts, and I didn't really want either of those. So I think I'm gonna add one more book to just make it a little bit more easier on myself. Next one. Let's pick this one. Oh, it's tiny. 1 POV. This is actually amazing. This is amazing because I have a whole magnitude of books. I mean, that also kind of doesn't narrow it down a lot, because now I have to go through and find which one's a one person point of view. So I guess I'll come back, because this may take me a while. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I have a couple options here, and they were kind of the first books I picked up. So first I picked up One Dark Window by Rachel Gaelig, and I believe I actually don't really know anything about this plot, so that would be very interesting. I know Esbeth is an interesting name, and I think the magic system in this book is like nothing everyone's done before, that I know of. So that'll be very interesting. I think it's tarot cards, like you choose a tarot card and you get that kind of power kind of thing. So that'll be very interesting. And obviously a little bit of romance in it, but I think this is more fantasy than romance. So could be interesting. And then I picked up 7 Year Slip by Ashley Poston. Let me know if I'm also pronouncing that wrong, because I would like to pronounce names right. This is the first book, a romance book, that I'm willingly choosing for this TBR. Now the reason I'm choosing this is because on my 2025 TBR that I made in January. This was one of the books that was on here for romance, and I really want to get through that, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people love this book, like 5 stars worthy, so I want to see what I feel about it. So between these two books, I am leaning towards 7 Year Slip because I want to really read this, and it is like really short, like not even 300 pages. So honestly, that makes me very interested in what could go down within less than 300 pages. And I'm pretty sure this is magical realism. The main character's grandmother dies, and then the grandmother puts in her will that Clementine gets their house, and her grandmother used to tell her a bunch of stories, like magical stories. She once told Clementine that this house that she lives in can pass through time, move through time. So obviously someone would be like, oh, that's obviously not true. But it turns out, I guess it is true. And Clementine also finds out it's true. And she goes 7 years back in time, and stuff goes down. Boom. Added to the TBR. We got 2 more. 2 more to go. Let's hopefully get something interesting. Let's use this one. Vampires in the book. Okay. First of all, if you don't know this, I love vampires. Okay, I love them so much. I know a couple right from the jump that could be, which is Servant in the Wings of the Night and Bride by Ali Hazelwood. Now, it depends on which way I want to go with this. More fantasy or more romance. And there also is a couple other books that maybe could go with this. So let me read some of the backs of the books, and I'll let you know. As I say that I want a lot of fantasy on this TBR, I'm picking Bride by Ali Hazelwood because actually for this month, or I guess last month, I wanted to read this book, and then I'm like, no, it's not on my TBR, so I shouldn't read it. But I'm putting it on this TBR, so now I could read it. Now I give myself permission. This is basically about, let me get her name, Misery. She is a vampire herself, and she is basically thrusted into this marriage of convenience to a werewolf pack, so then the werewolves and the vampires can be friendly to each other and have like a truce, some kind of truce. And obviously she's not happy about this, he's not happy about this. Let's see his name. Louis? Okay, to be fair, I don't know how to say his name, but I don't know how to say his name. I want to say Louis, but I don't think that's right. So I'm just gonna say he for now because I don't know. But he's not too happy about this either. So that sounds like an enemies to lovers. That sounds like a marriage of convenience, obviously, and that also sounds like fun. I'm going to put this on the TBR, and we'll see if I read it. I'm kind of like loving this TBR right now, if I'm gonna be honest. Let me see if I can get one more fantasy on here because that was the whole point of this TBR, and I only got like 2.5. So let me see if I can get one more fantasy, sneak one more fantasy on, please. Let's see. I choose you. Title starts with C. Okay. I like this. I like this a lot. Title starts with C. So here's also another thing. Are we counting A's, like A blank, or are we not counting that? I feel as though most people don't count that, so I'm gonna also not count it. Okay. I'm about to make a crazy decision, okay? And especially because I've only seen like 2 other books that start with C on my shelf. Could you imagine? I'm going to choose City of Gods and Monsters. Now hear me out. I said that this could take a month to finish. Yes. Yes, I did. However, it could take me a week to finish it if I love it. So you get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Time is an illusion. So basically, I'm choosing City of Gods and Monsters. Actually, To be fair, I don't know what it's about. I really don't. I actually think there is vampires in this. Yes, vampires, werewolves, witches, and other supernatural magical creatures. Did I not say I love vampires? So I'm going to choose this. I am going to choose this, and it will be interesting. Okay, now would you look at that TBR? That looks like a stacked TBR to me. Yes, it does. Good luck to myself. I can't imagine me finishing this, honestly, but I had a fantastic time. Let me tell you that. I loved it. Other than my battery dying, which we'll just leave that out. Should I see if I could hold it? That is going to be tricky. Okay, I'm sweating y'all. Okay, another thing about me is that I definitely have carpal tunnel in my wrists, so holding this up with one hand is just not gonna be good. Okay, there we go. This is our TBR. Okay, it's looking fruitful, it's looking colorful, it's looking fantastical. So this prompt is a title that starts with C. We have City of Gods and Monsters, and then we have a book that has vampires in it, which is Bride by Ellie Hazelwood. Then we have one POV in the book, which is going to be 7 Year Slip by Ashley Poston. Then we have a book less than 400 pages, which is going to be Powerful by Lauren Roberts. And then we have a book set in spring, which is going to be The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, the queen herself. And then we have the longest book on my shelf, which is Keeping 13 by Chloe Walsh. And then we have, wait, what even? Start a New Series, which is Phantasma. So this is the TBR for the month of June. Wish me luck, I'm gonna need it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your guys' TBR down below, because I love to know. Tell me what book you're reading right now, because I would love to know, so we can compare notes. All of my socials are down below if you want to go follow. Check out my Pango, because I recently set that up, so you can go ahead and see if I have any books that you would like. I don't know. The equipment I use is down below if you're interested too. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Maybe even getting through this TBR. I don't know. Okay. See ya.